The ACC, the Atlantic Coast Conference, that conference that so many of us hold dear, that featured so prominently in many of our earliest sports memories, some of our favorite sports memories, is being very close to being labeled an official little brother in the college football world. According to Yahoo Sports, in a format being socialized among major conference administrators, socialized, talked about, the Big Ten and SEC would each receive 3 automatic qualifiers, auto bids, into a 14-team college football playoff field, with the ACC and Big 12 getting 2 automatic qualifiers each. The best group of 5 team would be qualifying as well. That's 1 more auto bid, and then 3 at-large spots to the highest-ranked teams outside of the auto qualifiers. This would be, it's just being talked about now, but, I mean, let's be real. There's a pretty good track record of once something gets talked about, it's only a matter of time. But this would be the college football world officially saying, in writing, in ink, the ACC is not an equal with the Big Ten and the SEC. And that stings. It stinks and it stings. It is not a death sentence to the conference, which I'm sure it'll be made out to be. It might even be a lifeline to save the conference, but it is an official proclamation. It is an official proclamation that it is not even, that it is not equal, that they are not the same. As it stands right now, and I thought this was funny, we were talking with Brian Murphy about this earlier today, WRAL sports investigative reporter, and you know, he was like, it's not like we haven't known this for a while, but it's different when it is just an assumption or a conspiracy theory that a conference isn't being treated the same, right? When we're just like, geez, they always put the SEC in the playoff, right? You don't know who's favoring it, right? You start putting the conspiracy theories out there. It's the media companies. It's the networks. It's, Boo Corrigan is the chair of the committee, took a lot of conspiracy theory ire, drew a lot of that, right? This is confirmation that it's not a media network, right? It's not some underground thing. It's confirmation. The SEC and the Big Ten are better, they're more powerful, they're more valuable than the ACC and the Big 12. How much? 1 auto bid more. There's a number on it,
which is significant.
Yeah, I don't care if it was a quarter of an auto bid. Any amount is more, because now you have to explain that to media networks, right? When you're negotiating your media rights, you're going to have to say, "Hey, how's the 3rd best conference sound?" That doesn't sound good at all. We're going to go bid on the 1st conference or the 2nd conference. Recruits, you're going to go, who wants to play in, at best, the 3rd most important conference in college football? And recruits are going to go, actually, I have 3 offers from one of the 2 best conferences in college football. Yeah, I'm going to take one of those. Why? Because college football is telling me they're better, they're more important, they're play a higher quality of football. That's a really tough thing to overcome. Nobody sells you on like, well, we're okay. That sound is never good in a recruiting conversation. And oh, by the way, side note here, that's all the very tangible impacts on college sports. From a fan perspective, if you thought SEC and Big Ten fans were insufferable when they thought their conference was more powerful,
oh God,
just imagine how bad they're going to be when it's confirmed by the powers that be. I mean, it is like, it means more, and the college football playoff told us it means more, becomes the chant. It just means more. I told you so, becomes the chant.
I feel we're eventually going to get to 16 teams in the CFP. Like, eventually
32.
We're going to get there anyway, because I'm sure the teams that are 1-2 that get this quote-unquote bye in the 14-team playoff are like, wait a second, hold on. We're missing out on money for not playing in this game. Where's our check? So I think eventually we're going to get to 16. If they go to 16, are you just going to add the AQs to the ACC and the Big 12 and have 3 across the board with the 3 at large?
Once you go uneven, you never get back to even.
Yeah.
The SEC and the Big Ten's never going to go, oh, yeah, why don't you catch up? They're going to go, you want a new one? We get a new one, too. You want 3? We get 4.
I wonder where Notre Dame falls into all this.
Big question. And it's a good one to ask. Because now they're down to just 3 at large. And Notre Dame would have to be one of the 3 best at-large teams, and it becomes much more difficult. If they join a conference, like if you're in the ACC, there's 5 spots you can go get. Mm-hmm. The 2 at-large, the 2 auto bids, the 3 at-large. If you're in the SEC or the Big Ten, there's 6 spots you can go get. Heck, if you are in Conference USA, there are 4 spots you can go get.
Yeah.
For Notre Dame, there's only 3. I don't know how long they'd hang out there. That might be the biggest impact of this.
And they would have to join the ACC because their media rights and everything, they're tied into the ACC through 2036. So if they join a conference for football, it has to be the ACC. And that might be their easiest route. It's like, okay, well, we'll just join the ACC, be one of the top 2 teams every year, guarantee ourselves a spot. But also, if Notre Dame joins the ACC, how does that impact? Like, okay, do you get one more AQ? Like, how does that all impact it?
Here's where I flip very quickly here, though. Right? I'm going to defend the ACC to its death. Right? Until there's no more breaths in its lungs, I'm going to defend the ACC. But I also have to ask this question: if I'm Florida State, okay, I want out. What's easier? Being top 3 in the SEC or being top 2 in the ACC?
Top 2 ACC.
Yeah. I'm not proud of that.
Simple as that.
I'm not proud of that, but if you want to make the college football playoff, I do think it might be easier in the ACC, which could be that lifeline I was talking about. Maybe it saves the conference. I
hate all of this.
You know,
I really hate all this.
Yeah, remember when like the offseason was all about just, hey, this junior quarterback is going to be a senior next year.
Yeah.
Now it's this junior quarterback is definitely hitting the portal. We're not going to be able to afford him. He's going to go play his last year, someone else, probably win the Heisman, and my team is going to get booted from the Power 5 and have to go down to the Group of 5. Woo!
I remember it was the times it was like, oh, yeah, we have this 4-star, quarterback that redshirted last year because we had a senior at quarterback. Let's see what he's going to do this year. Oh, I'm excited about that guy. Spring football's here. No, none of that.
Now it's just, hey, which conference is on its final life?